Well, hey YouTube, welcome back to another episode of USA the Philippines Life Channel, where today we're going to be giving some tips, healthcare insider tips, how to protect yourself from COVID. You're not going to want to miss this one today. Very important stuff, so stick around. All right. Welcome back, USA the Philippines Life Channel. Another day, another episode with your host Mike and my lovely, beautiful wife, La Arnie, joining me today. It's always better with you here instead of me yakking away alone. But today, I know you wanted to talk about tips how to protect yourself from COVID.
Yes.
And I know nobody's more diligent than my wife. She's going to share some of this wisdom with all of you. And I would think the first one would be get vaccinated, obviously, right?
Yes.
But if not, what else can they do to protect themselves from this pandemic?
Yes, according to my experience and according to what I learned from the place where I work. So
and wait, you're a patient care technician.
Yes.
In a New York City area hospital.
Yes.
So
and
she knows firsthand. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to make sure they know you're not just yakking away. You actually know what you're talking about. So you have credentials.
Don't worry, I understand.
So go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
No, I'm done. The floor is yours.
Oh, okay. So according to my experience and according to what I learned, before there is no vaccine yet, but the only thing that you can protect yourself, it's not to be ignorant. All right, so you need to learn more. It's not because you're doing mask, some have shield also, and then you think you're already safe. No, it's not. It's the way how to handle and how to use the mask and how to use the shield. When COVID time, when the COVID started, there is like an infectious disease people that teach us how to protect ourselves from infection, so that you will not be contaminated, or because the COVID is very contagious. So if you don't know what you are doing to protect yourself, then you will be easily contaminated. So the first thing you need to do is make sure your hand is always clean. Don't touch your mouth. Don't touch the opening part of your body that there's an entry point to inside of your body. Don't touch with your hand that you can't make sure that your hand is clean. Always wash and sanitize your hand. That's very, very important. Before you touch anything else, especially when you touch something and you can't make sure that things that you touch, it's dirty or it's contaminated, don't touch your face, don't touch yourself, okay? So that's one important thing, is make sure your hand it's clean and sanitize. Second is, when you're wearing mask, don't always touch your mask. Still no use. Because some people, I saw it a lot, everywhere, especially in the Philippines. They're wearing shield, they're wearing masks everywhere. But if you know your hand is dirty and you're not washing your hand, no sanitation, and you're still touching your mask, still no use. There's no protection to yourself because that mask that you're touching is already contaminated. So always make sure that you're not touching the mask, the front of your mask, something like that, everywhere, the mask. When you remove your mask, is always remove the mask behind your ear. and remove your mask. And I learned not to pull down my mask under my neck, so that it's not hygienic anymore. You can't.
Yeah, everybody
like
does that. You see everybody doing that now. They wear the mask down here.
Yes.
And then they just pull it up.
Yes. When COVID time, there is no vaccine yet. We can't do that. You can't touch anything. And that's why before, it's so scary, because even though you will go to the supermarket and all your things that you bought from supermarket, you need to sanitize, you need to clean up,
doing that
and
in the
everything.
sure.
You need to wipe it, everything. And we never use the plastic anymore. We throw it. I don't want to use it. And before,
the bags,
yeah. Yes. And when we are working in the hospital provide the uniform that we need to use in the hospital, because we don't want to bring the bacteria into our house. But still, my uniform stays outside, and I always separate from the normal laundry
it
that
was
we have.
a whole process when you came home.
It's like
because you were on the COVID floors.
Even my shoes, I need to spray. If there is any a hospital worker that was watching this video, to protect yourself from the COVID, I tell you honestly, by God's grace, thank God for His grace, for His protection, I never get positive. I never get COVID.
Yeah, neither of us.
Yes, I never get positive. Because, if you get positive, you will bring that to your family member. So your family member will be contaminated also. It will get sick too. Okay. First, wash your hands, sanitize. Second, it's don't touch your mask. Always don't touch your mask.
Yeah, she's always yelling at me for that one.
If you ever have the if your face is itchy, I know when I'm not yet vaccinated, I don't even touch my mask. I use my face to lift up my mask back up, because sometimes when you're talking, your mask, it will fall.
Yeah, you see that a lot. People, the mask just kind of migrates down to here.
Yeah. So before, we're using in the hospital, we are using the N95. So the surgical mask is just only to protect your N95, because we are short of PPE.
Double masks back then.
We are short of PPE. The purpose of that surgical mask over the N95 is to protect your N95 not to get contaminated.
Because you were putting those N95s in a paper bag.
Yes, because we can. Yes,
because there was a shortage back then.
Yes, we still using it. I experienced that. I used my N95 for 1 week because we're short of PPE.
Thank God it's not like that now.
Yes, no more.
Plenty of PPE now.
Yes, the second one is shield, because sometimes, like, if you're not a hospital worker, so the patient is not, they're not coughing in front of you, that their saliva will go to your shield. But before,
eye, man, it gets you in the eye.
yes, before, we're really like, sometimes today there's a lot of shield that is really like a fashion shield that there is a hole in here, but supposedly it's not like that, because still the droplets, it will get inside. So you need to be careful. Is like your mask, your mask when you go home. Like in the Philippines, everybody's wearing the mask. Everybody's wearing the shield. When you go home, that shield, you just can't leave there everywhere and without cleaning it. When you go back home, you need to clean your shield. Make sure you clean your shield, because that's contaminated. Yes, on the bag. This, because that one is contaminated if you're not going to clean. And your mask, if you have like if what they call this, if there's if possible that you can't reuse your surgical mask, much better not to use your surgical mask again. It's, for me, it's more hygienic that you use the new one. But if you're using the cloth, like reusable one, make sure you always wash it.
And here's the thing that I do when we go, because right now around here we don't have to wear the mask, only in the stores if we go to the store. So if we go to the store, I will when we get back to the truck, before I touch my mask, I hand sanitizer my hands, and then I take the mask off.
Yes.
Because I know correct. I'm going to have to maybe use that mask again. At least then I touch it with my hands that have been sanitized. I think that's a good little tip.
Yes. That's also, don't touch your shield, your mask without, that's what I said to you. The first thing you need to do is hand sanitize or wash your hand if you can wash. If you don't have, like where you are walking, just only walking, and you go somewhere touch, because the people is a lot in the Philippines, and when they go shopping like in a small market, because sometimes one more thing that I've noticed in the Philippines, the spit is everywhere. It's like you need to be careful.
What do you mean the spit is everywhere?
Like they like to spit on the street.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So that's really so.
I know what you meant by that. Okay.
Like
you would know.
Yes, they spit like on the street, something like that. So it's not so sanitized.
Yeah, people do that in the cities here too.
Yes, I know.
Doing that.
So it's not so you don't know that person is carrying the virus, even though how care you are that you are not aware of it. Sometimes your shoes, your sleeper, and then you bring it to your house.
Especially there, they wear the flip flops and
yes. So before you get into your house, before you go to your bed, before you go somewhere inside your house, make sure you wash your feet. Because, like for example, in the supermarket or any supermarket or wet market in the Philippines, like a lot of people, they are sneeze, cough, and then they spit, and then they blow their nose. It's like they touch their nose, and then they touch the things that they're buying. There's for example, the tomato, they're buying the tomato, and then they're the beautiful tomato that I want.
Handling the produce.
Yes, but they touch their nose and blow their nose. So make sure it's you just try to imagine it. And that person nowadays, the variant, they said the Delta variant is very aggressive,
which is what prompted us to do this video, because obviously it seems like with the Delta variant, the COVID is on the uptick again everywhere. It is here, and it is in the Philippines, and I imagine everywhere else.
Yes.
Seems like it's another wave is bubbling up. So this may be old news to you, but maybe this video is more of a reminder for folks to practice these simple things to try to help keep the numbers down, even if you're vaccinated.
Yes.
Because you still can get it if you're vaccinated.
Yes, exactly.
The difference is the severity of it. If you did get it, in the little small percentage that you would get it, it would be just like like a flu, as opposed to something that requires you to have a hospital stay. Correct?
Yes. So that's one of the thing, and I saw it's a lot. Even sometimes I'm watching the news, like it's a lot of people there. The government telling you, you need to wear the shield. You can't go anywhere without wearing the shield. What's the use of the shield that your hand is not sanitized to keep watching, to keep touching your shield and touching your mask? So it's still, for me, it's still a danger of contamination everywhere.
I will say, from watching some of the other vloggers, and thank you guys all for sharing that, going to the malls and everything during COVID, I like how they spray your hands when you go get your temperature check, when you're walking into the malls, and then they would usually, the security would spray your hands. That's a good practice, I think, and it definitely
but
helps.
Make sure when they spray your hand, make sure you get enough alcohol in your hand, not just only spray, like sprinkle a little bit.
Well, we just want to come out of this and stay out of this. So
so that we all will be set free. The time will come. I know. Yeah, that's all the protection that I want you to to be aware. And one more thing is, like, for example, if the lady has the long hair, it's like everywhere is like your long hair, and then
Like yours?
your hair your hair is touching everywhere. Actually, when we are working, my hair is never get up.
Oh,
I
yeah,
always
she
tied
puts it up.
I always tied my hair because it's like you just imagine that you're working and then your hair is touching the wall or everywhere that is contaminated of the COVID virus, and you will bring it back to your home that is also contaminate your family member. So just be aware of that. Like the product that you're buying in a mall or supermarket or everywhere, always be careful that you need to clean properly. Like the food, if you can just cook by yourself, much more better. I think it's to save other people. I know it's the people right now, they need money to survive also for themselves. That's why it's they need to have a small business. But my advice for those people who do that, make sure that you're selling the food that it's not you're not sick. No, you're make sure it's hygienic, that you cover your mouth and everything, and wash your hand. So that's,
And I think everybody does get that, because we don't eat out. We do a lot of home takeout delivery because we work a lot, the two of us. So, but from what we've seen in a lot of the vlogs
yes,
that people
true.
show, seems like the food handlers get it, and everybody's
Yes.
masked up. I mean, we've been at this for almost 2 years now. I mean, I was thinking the other morning when I woke up.
I think the food here is different than the food that they are selling in the Philippines, because I think like tropical hot, the food's still hot. You go there and buy, and you can see the people how they handle the food.
Yeah.
But in the Philippines, there is a small store.
Tropical Hut, our great local
Yes.
Filipino food place. We love that place.
And then but in the Philippines is different, because there's a small store
You're right.
that like they're selling like food that just make sure the people who is like cooking, and you can see
Observe
the
the
surrounding.
food handlers,
Yes,
see how
yes.
their hygiene and the way they're
Yes.
handling it in a professional and safe manner in these difficult times.
Yes. So we don't want everybody. It's a lot of people already affected of this situation, and we want to how to say it? We want everything done.
Right. We want to come out of
Soon,
this, and this
yeah.
may be old news, old information to a lot of you, and maybe, like I said, it's just more of a reminder, because unfortunately, when we all thought it was over, hello Delta variant.
Thank you for watching.